Oh, I can't believe I had to. This is like my fifth fucking take on this, so I'm just gonna read through it. Everybody knows Curtis Yarvin, JD Vance, Peter Thiel. That's what I'm talking about here. We all know anybody hangs out next to a billionaire for fucking 10 years or more, that billionaire's the boss, right? We all know that. JD Vance is owned by Peter Thiel. I hope people are listening now. Even if you're curious, even if you just watch me because I don't know because I'm funny or funny looking. I don't give a fuck. Just I hope you're absorbing some of this information because this is what's going on. It was their plan called the network state. Okay, there's a book about it. It's free to read online, and it's also reflected in Curtis Yarvin's work. He calls them patchworks. The idea is that nation states like the United States and other established countries are going to collapse, and that they should then be divided up into much smaller political entities that would basically be corporate-run dictatorships. So everybody would live in a little town Yarvin calls San Francisco's version Fisk Corp. And Fisk Corp would be governed by a corporate dictatorship with an all-seeing surveillance system to guarantee public safety. And you'd have to have little RFID cards to swipe in and out. And you'd have to have a certain level of income to be able to live in Fisk Corp. Turning San Francisco into Fisk Corp, right? That's why Elon Musk wants all of our information. That's why they want all of our information. They want to put it in this huge database and run the country, just like they're talking about running San Francisco right now. They've been so emboldened by the ease with which Doge has been able to just send some fucking tech nerds into our government institutions, install their own servers, they're destroying everything. We haven't felt the consequences yet, but we will. This was their plan, was just to do San Francisco, to experiment with it, to see if it worked. Make the whole city, wall it off, okay? And the only people that live there, well, everybody can live there, but you have to have RFID cards to swipe in and out of the city. But now it's the country. And you have to have a certain level of income to be able to live here, though. He wants to deport us. All of us that aren't rich enough to live here. So it's basically an idea for corporate dictatorships. It sounds pretty nutty, but they seem to talk a lot about it. Now there's an idea that's evolved into something called the network state. And Peter Thiel and Mark Andreessen actually have a company called Pronamos, which is investing in the creation of these little corporate states in all over the world. There's one in Honduras called Prospera that's currently fighting with the Honduran government, suing them for, I think, $11 billion. They're planning a city in the Mediterranean called Praxis. And so this is something they're actually trying to make happen. And in addition to people like Peter Thiel and Mark Andreessen, who, surprise, surprise, are also popping up as big supporters of Trump. Then you have Brian Armstrong of Bitcoin and Naval Ravikant of AngelList. So people who would be seemingly normal are investing in these ideas to basically undermine democracy and create new forms of government in the future. So if you look up network state, you'll find a lot more about that idea, network state. Jesus H. Christ on a raft, you guys, you know. But anyway, about the billionaires. Any of them possess any kind of self-reflection, do you think, about their role in this disaster right now? Do you think? I mean, sorry about that. I don't know how to stop it and then edit it back and then continue. I mean, when I'm at the end, I don't know how to edit things out that are in the middle, is what I mean. Anyway, I was talking about, do these people even think about, how much money they have and all their technologies that do they think about? Oh my God. These are virtual nation states. Some of these companies already have achieved this status and power, if not on paper. One of them says, they seem very strangely aggrieved, even though most of us would say they have accomplished and achieved and collected more than all the rest of us combined. And they justify that view as their natural place in society. It's very much an ideology of supremacy, of tech supremacy, of the wealthy, in many ways of white supremacy, and they believe anything is justified as long as they can protect their wealth from what they view is the unfair clutches of the public and of the democracy and of the nation states. It's very much about escaping with their wealth out of the system. They call it exit, right? When you exit a company, you cash out. They literally use that term for democracy. We're going to exit democracy with everything we have. And so this isn't just about money. It's also about an ideology, which they should be the sovereign individuals who govern their own territories, much like back in the days of feudalism. And this isn't something I'm guessing or assuming. They write this stuff down. They talk about it in podcasts. They're very much upfront about it. And it's been shocking to me to see, with very few exceptions, people like Ian, no one in the mainstream media paying attention to this. We're led to believe it's just about lower taxes and friendly regulations. These guys have a dangerous ideology. They want to weaken the country from the within and take over with their own forms of government. And I would say the threat here is on par with any terrorist group we've been fighting around the country, because these people have billions of dollars and they're actively working to take over our government at this very moment. White supremacy plays a role. Yes, it does. Anti-Semitism. And just for a quick insight, they said they spoke to a man named Michael Malice. He delved into the New Right for a book, The Journey to the Fringe of American Politics. And he's a self-described anarchist. But anyway, this guy, his real name is Michael Kretschmer. He's Jewish, and this is what he said. He said, I only found out recently when I was at Charlottesville the day after the march, and it was really absolutely crazy. The house where I was hiding out because the violence was in the air. It was really, I can't describe it. It's hard to say, but it's like, this is not safe to be in the streets. Like something bad's about to happen. But the people who hid me were Identity Europa, who were like the white nationalists out of Europe. I didn't know that's who it was. They're hiding out a Jew, and they were perfectly nice. Although later my friend, who's my contact there, was told, don't bring the Jew back. But at least they Anne Franked me for a little bit of time. Now, he says that in his research and talking to members of the New Right, they were quite disappointed, actually, in his view, in Donald Trump's first presidency, mostly because of unfulfilled promises that they believe in, especially the COVID lockdowns, which began under Trump, during his presidency, that people seem to forget. How do they always blame the lockdowns on Biden? That's so dumb. People are like 6 times more willing to believe a lie. Isn't that the thing? Isn't that the science? Thanks, science. Oh my gosh. So I hope that I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I mean, I know what we need to do, but we have to all do it together. They have, I'm going to repeat, they have divided us on purpose, you guys. The right and left, they've divided families. While they're still getting rich, they're just taking over. We mean nothing to them. To you, Republicans that watch me, MAGA, they don't care about you. They don't care about me. They don't care about us. Us. We, the people, that's all of us, you guys, man. They did this shit on purpose. Nick Fuentes was saying, he was saying Vance isn't one of us because he has mixed race children, right? So there's this edge, that they are openly white nationalist. They oppose Vance. They have all these different, thank God they have all these different tensions. I mean, Hitler's generals and all.